So that's a piece of shrapnel.
It's a 303 round, 1940.
In these now peaceful hills, battle raged in the winter of 1941. The last Allied defenders of Hong Kong fought over their positions here for 2 days before surrendering on Christmas Day. Craig Mitchell is part of a group of amateur historians who use metal detectors to explore the hidden military history of Hong Kong.
The Canadians and the British were up on the top here, just on my side here, and the Japanese tried to come up through the creek bed down at the bottom of here, so there was a lot of fighting around this area here.
They have chosen this site after studying aerial photographs.
And there's an area of disruption just over that, on that hill over there, which suspiciously looks like a Japanese tunnel network. So we're going to head over there shortly and we'll see if we can find it there.
The beeping of metal detectors in this old battleground indicates relics under the surface.
It's only a tiny little piece of fuse, but it gives a very good crisp signal.
70 years ago, this landscape was practically barren. Soldiers set up armed lookouts here to scout the landscape.
Well, I'm actually sitting in a trench right now. I mean, it's only about 18 inches deep, about sort of 40, 50 centimeters. During the war, around the outside of it would have had a few rocks there. As they were digging, they would have piled up the rocks around the outside.
This jungly, verdant forest is now so thick that few people come up here, and getting away from the trail is a challenge.
I suspect the tunnels might be about sort of 30 or 40 meters down that way. Push our way through.
On a typical day, Mitchell and his team find coins, belt clips, spent bullet cartridges, and lots of shrapnel. But today, they find even more than that.
Okay, so we found this Japanese tunnel from the aerial maps that we saw earlier on. There you can actually see the access points as well, so I'm pretty sure that this is a Japanese gun position. We're about sort of 10 meters from the entrance, and it goes on probably about another sort of 10 meters further. That's nothing, is it?
The inside of the tunnel has been cleared a long time ago, but there's still evidence of Japanese occupation.
We didn't find an awful lot inside, but just on the outside here we found the remains of a Japanese beer bottle. Around the outside here it says Nippon Brewery, and at the bottom there's a Japanese star.
Over 2,000 Allied soldiers died defending Hong Kong during the Japanese invasion. Many of them are buried here at the Saiwan War Cemetery. In March 2017, Mitchell and his partners unearthed a watch that had belonged to Ray Donald Jackson, a 21-year-old Canadian who died during the battle. With the help of a Veterans Association in Canada, they were able to return the watch to the family of the dead soldier. But most war remains do not have clear identifying marks. Only a short hike from the Japanese war tunnel, there is a surprise find at the end of the day. Among the ever-present shrapnel, there appears to be the belongings of a Canadian soldier.
Beautiful compass. On the back of it, it says 1941 and Sutton Hawley, Toronto. So clearly a Canadian soldier lost his compass up here. Great find.
And finally, a rifle with the bayonet still attached.
And this is the bayonet that was that would have been attached to the front of the gun.
Some items cannot be brought back. Ammunition and firearms are unsafe and by law need to stay where they are. Other items are donated to charities and local community groups.
I wouldn't recommend everybody to do this because it can be quite dangerous, and if you don't know what you're doing, then you might mishandle something that you don't want to be touching.
The team works out of a science lab nearby to preserve and archive their findings.
So this is the bayonet that we recovered the other day. For us, it's very important that we try to maintain as much history as we can and prevent it from rusting and corroding away.
This way, they can seal the items and prevent them from corroding further.
And this is about as close as you can get to it looking in its original state.
Unearthing these relics is controversial because of the dangers of unexploded ordnance. But a passion for the history of this dark time means so much to Craig and his team that they will keep on digging.